I was doing a live stream interview on the street when the host asked me to test my boyfriend's reaction to finding out he was going to be a baby daddy. I dialed my current boyfriend. Pregnant? Are you crazy, Lucas? You've never even let me touch you, and you're a damn guy. How could you? Click. I hung up the phone and smiled at the bewildered host. Sorry about that, wrong number. Then I dialed Alex's number. Hello?
I'm pregnant.
There was silence on the other end for a full 30 seconds. Then keep it. Call me daddy. Alex, I'm a man. I know. And you still want me to keep it? Didn't you say you were pregnant? And you just believed me? Since when can men get pregnant? Maybe your physiology is special? Forget it. Pranking him is like pranking myself. I'm done playing. I got stuff to do. Hanging up now. I put away my phone and looked at the host, whose face was still frozen in confusion. Did you get enough footage, darling? Need me to make another call? The host's face turned bright red, and she laughed awkwardly. I'm so sorry, sir. With the long hair and being so pretty, I thought you were. I waved my hand dismissively. No worries. I'll take it as a compliment. If you don't need anything else. Can I go? I have some business to handle. Oh, did I hold you up? The host bowed apologetically.
Sorry.
Please go ahead.
I winked her.
I'm off then, to catch a cheater. I walked away, leaving the host with the fire of gossip burning in her eyes. I hadn't gone far when my phone buzzed with a message. I opened it. It was a photo from one of Zach's friends. In the picture, Zach was wrapped around a very young-looking boy, engaging in a full-on French kiss. I made a disgusted noise. I regretted opening that image. Then it hit me, if I actually went to catch him in the act and saw that live, wouldn't it just pollute my eyes even more? Not worth it. Not worth it at all. A phone call to break up would suffice. So, I dialed Zach's number again, delivered a crisp, clean breakup line, and before he could get a single word out, I hung up and blocked him. A relationship that hadn't even lasted a week ended just as quickly. I stretched. Heartbreak. Impossible. I wasn't really into Zach anyway. I only reluctantly agreed to give him a shot because he'd been relentlessly chasing me for 3 months, and his face was passable among my crowd of suitors. The result of giving him a shot was obvious. I was thoroughly grossed out. I tied my hair into a high ponytail and turned to head home. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Zach's friend. Lucas, I heard you broke up with Zach. Since you're single now, can I pursue you? I rolled my eyes. You can screw off too. Birds of a feather. Just looking at them ruined my appetite. Swipe, swipe, swipe. I efficiently blocked everyone associated with Zach. Hey, how come I never meet any good men? Every single one of them is trash. I sat on the sofa at Alex's estate, legs crossed, sipping the premium black tea he'd poured for me, venting my frustrations. He lifted his eyelids, swept a glance over me, and returned his attention to his tablet. There are plenty of good men. You're just blind. Oh, listen to that sour tone. I tapped 2 fingers against the sofa. Alex, you wouldn't be talking about yourself, would you? This time, he tossed the tablet aside. Do I not count? I narrowed my eyes. 6'3", a face impeccable from every angle, smooth, powerful muscles hidden beneath a dress shirt. Extremely tempting. With these specs, plenty of people dream of throwing themselves at him. He certainly counts as a good man. No, a perfect man. I clicked my tongue, twisted my body around, and propped my head up to look at him. You're right. You count. It's just a pity you have a fiancé. You're off the market. The corner of his mouth twitched upward. What if I didn't? Smiling, I shoved my hands in my pockets and walked over to him. I leaned down, wickedly closing the gap between us to a flirting distance, and exhaled softly. Then I'd definitely drag you into bed and let you see what I'm capable of. After all, I've wanted to for a long time. Even in my dreams. Our eyes met, close enough to feel each other's breath. Alex's eyes were so deep I couldn't see the bottom. But I tucked a loose strand of long hair behind my ear and straightened up. The most meaningless word in the world is if. Sleeping with a taken man? Unethical. We don't do that. I turned around, sat back on the sofa, crossed my legs, and went back to my tea. By the way, when is your fiancé coming back to the States? Alex stared at me for a moment before picking up his tablet again. Tomorrow. I nodded. Cool. Let's grab dinner together when you have time. I should meet her. I really don't think we need to meet this urgently. I leaned against a pillar at the airport, looking helplessly at Alex. You're here to pick up your fiancé. Why did you have to drag me along? Do you need me to generate 300 watts of light to illuminate the glorious path of your love? Did you ask the light bulb if it wanted to be here? Alex turned a deaf ear to my grumbling, simply staring unhappily at the bouquet in my hands. Picking her up is enough. Why did you bring flowers? I clicked my tongue. You allergic to romance weirdo. Beauties deserve flowers. It's called aesthetics. Get it? I handed the bouquet to him. Here, prepared it for you. You're welcome. Alex took it without a word. Not long after, Alex's fiancée walked out. She was beautiful, bright, and elegant, every bit the heiress of a prominent family. I greeted her politely.
I'm Lucas.
Alex's friend. Her eyes lit up for a second as she looked me over with curiosity. So you're Lucas. Alex has mentioned you many times. I come back for a visit and get two handsome guys picking me up? I'm blushing. I gentlemanly took the suitcase from her hand and passed it to Alex. Serving a beauty is my pleasure. The three of us walked toward the parking lot, but the positioning was weird. Sloane was on my left, Alex on my right, and I was sandwiched in the middle. Alex held the flowers in one hand and pushed the suitcase with the other, saying nothing. I nudged him with my elbow and whispered, "Why haven't you given her the flowers yet? Waiting for them to wilt?" Alex shot me a flat look. Didn't you give them to me? Hopeless. If you want the love, take it. We had dinner together. I'm not only good at snagging guys, I'm also great at charming girls. Throughout the meal, I made Sloane laugh multiple times. Alex, on the other hand, was in pure eating mode, head down, stuffing his face like a mute. By the end of dinner, Sloane rested her chin on her hand, in a great mood. Lucas, honestly, I really like you. Alex finally put down his knife and fork, looking at Sloane with a hint of displeasure. Looks like he does care about Sloane, even getting jealous over a joke. I smiled. A lot of people like me, but you should pass. I'm afraid Alex might take me out. Alex looked gentle and polite on the outside, but his methods were ruthless. I didn't want him chopping me up and burying the body. Sloane raised an eyebrow, looking back at Alex with an ambiguous smile. True. You're afraid of being taken out. I'm afraid of being killed. That phrase sounded weird. Actually, I think we meant the same thing. That night, I lay in bed, frowning and rubbing my stomach. Ever since that meal with Alex and Sloane, I hadn't been eating properly. My standards for food are generally low, beer and bread work for me. But tonight, my stomach was rebelling, cramping up in waves. I waited half an hour, but it showed no sign of improving. Forget it. I'll go buy some medicine. Going to the hospital is too much hassle. I threw on some random clothes, left my hair loose, and went out just like that. The nearest pharmacy was a bit of a walk, and I didn't want to drive, so I called a cab. After buying the meds, just as I was about to head home, a man reeking of alcohol tapped me on the shoulder. Hey babe, you look real nice. Want to go have some fun with Big Brother? Impatient, I swatted his pig hand off my shoulder. Not interested. Screw off. Whoa, a dude. The man stumbled around to face me. Doesn't matter if you're a dude. I swing both ways, haha. Come on, let's. I released his wrist with a look of disgust and wiped my hand on my shirt. What kind of trash are you? Trying to touch me. The man cradled his wrist, grimacing in pain, and started cursing. Tui. What are you pretending to be so high and mighty for? Looking all slutty like that, aren't you out here to hook up? Don't play hard to get with me. It's your blessing that I'm interested. You.
Fuck. Oh.
He didn't finish the sentence before a second. More miserable scream cut him off. Alex had appeared out of nowhere, bending back the second hand the man had tried to reach out with. The force he used looked like he intended to snap the guy in half. More and more people were gathering. Alex's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. Get lost. Realizing he couldn't win a 2-on-1 and was losing face as the crowd grew, the man spat on the ground, swayed, and stumbled away, muttering filth under his breath. Alex turned to look at me. Why are you out alone so late? His gaze fell on the pharmacy bag in my hand, and he frowned. You're sick? I waved my hand. It's nothing. Old problem. Stomach ache. He stepped closer, took the bag from my hand, his tone brooking no refusal. Come on. I'm taking you home. I curled up on the sofa, clutching a cup of hot water. Thanks to the medicine, the stomach cramps had finally subsided a bit. Alex walked out of the kitchen with a bowl of noodles. You didn't have much in the house, so I just made some simple noodles.
Come eat.
The noodles were cooked perfectly, neither too soft nor too hard. The fried egg had a runny yolk that oozed out when I bit into it, and there were no scallions in the broth. I hate scallions. Alex sat aside, quietly watching me eat. Strange. I found this plain bowl of noodles more delicious than a Michelin dinner. I drank every drop of the broth, feeling comfortable from head to toe. Alex was very proactive. As soon as I finished, he took the bowl and chopsticks to the kitchen. I leaned against the kitchen door frame, arms crossed, watching him wash dishes and organize the fridge, throwing all the expired stuff into the trash. I sighed heavily. What's wrong? I teased. Alex, watch your virtue. I like men, you know. If you treat me this well, what if I fall for you? Even though I've liked him for a long time. I even tried to date other people to dilute my feelings for him. The result was a failure. He was stuffing the fridge with various groceries he'd just had delivered, his gaze fixed on the task. Then we handle it. I froze, taking a good while to process that. Whoa, this guy. He's gone bad. He knows how to make dirty jokes with me now. Miracles never cease. I lazily sat back down on a chair. Forget it. Unethical. I don't steal other people's men. By the way, where's your fiancée? Why aren't you with her? Alex's tone was flat. I don't know. Hey, you're not being a very competent fiancé. Alex ignored me, still stuffing things into my almost empty refrigerator. A moment later, he finished and walked over to me, blocking the kitchen light. Suddenly, he said, I'll be competent in the future. He tucked my hair behind my back, looking down at me with half-lidded eyes. The light cast a shadow over his eyelashes and the bridge of his nose, making the glint in his eyes unusually bright. Damn it, my heart started racing again. When will I stop swooning over this man? Maybe I should just cut ties with him after he gets married. Stomach still hurt? No. Alex pinched the tip of my nose. I filled your fridge. Eat properly from now on. I'll be coming over to spot check whenever I feel like it. Mind your own business. Go manage your own wife. Annoying. A few days after Sloane returned, it was her 24th birthday. The Sue family threw a grand gala for her. I was on the guest list. I tied my long hair back, holding a glass of red wine, leaning against a wall listening to the pianist. Lucas, long time no see. Sloane walked over, standing beside me. Not that long. Only a week. She shot me a playful glare. That's because you don't miss me. I've been dying to hang out with you every day. By the way, I've heard that the eldest son of the Liu family plays piano like a god. Absolutely extraordinary. I wonder if I'm lucky enough to hear a song today. I smiled politely. You flatter me, but since a beauty invites, it would be my honor. After the pianist finished a piece, I walked over with a relaxed gait, sat down and brushed the keys. I took a light breath, closed my eyes, and let my fingers fly. Notes flowed like water, and more people gathered around. Everyone's eyes were on me, including Alex's. When the song ended, enthusiastic applause erupted around me. I gave a slight bow and left the bench. Sloane leaned in, eyes sparkling. Did you know? You looked very sexy playing the piano just now. Someone couldn't take his eyes off you. She gestured with her eyes toward Alex, who was walking over. I clinked my glass against hers. I'm always like this when I play. Not trying to be humble. I'm very confident in my charm. If I wanted to, I could hook anyone. But I don't hook people who are taken. Alex is coming for you. You two chat. I won't disturb you. I know how to read the room. I wasn't gonna stick around and be a nuisance. So before Alex reached us, I brushed off Sloane's attempts to keep me and slipped away first. High society galas are full of networking. But that has nothing to do with me. I was just there to show my face. I'm just a trust fund kid who knows nothing about business. Halfway through the party, I was sitting alone on a sofa, bored out of my mind playing Candy Crush. I glanced up and saw two men holding wine glasses surrounding Sloane. It looked like they were forcing her to drink. Sloane looked unhappy. I frowned. Where was Alex? Not protecting his fiancée? I scanned for Alex and found him far away, talking to a highly respected elder in the circle. He looked unable to break away. I thought for a moment, locked my phone, shoved it in my pocket, and walked over. Cousin, we're all family. You drink when others toast you, but you won't drink our wine? Do you have a problem with us? Exactly. Or are you looking down on us? The two men were pressing closer. Sloane's face had darkened, but she couldn't explode in this setting. She just gave a fake smile. Not at all, you're overthinking it. If not, then drink. Sloane. I grabbed her hand and pulled her a step back. There you are. I was looking for you. And you are? The man frowned at me. Oh, I'm Alex's friend. He's a bit busy right now, so he specifically asked me to look after Sloane. She's a lady. After all, it's not good for her to drink too much. How about this? I'll drink this glass for the two of you. Consider it me, Lucas, making friends. Without waiting, I took the glass from the man closest to me, the one pushing the hardest, and downed it in one gulp. Ugh, tastes terrible. Ugly people offer ugly wine. A flash of shock and confusion crossed the man's face. Sloane stepped forward. We drank the wine. Shouldn't you drink yours now? The man paused for a moment before awkwardly raising his glass. Fair enough, fair enough. After drinking, the two exchanged a look and walked away without a word. Their backs looked like they were fleeing. Sloane thanked me. Thanks, Lucas. You really saved me there. No problem. Who were they? My cousins. She made a disgusted face. They have no talent, just love drag racing and playing with women. I've disliked them for a long time, so I don't want anything to do with them. At that moment, Alex walked over. What happened? I looked at him with condemnation. You need to pay more attention. A guardian angel needs to orbit the flower. I patted his shoulder meaningfully, and under his confused gaze, I retreated back to my corner. Looking back, Alex was surrounded by elders again, and Sloane was far off on the other side laughing with her girlfriends. Whatever. Guess my matchmaking isn't needed. Maybe I drank too much because my head started pounding. My body felt increasingly uncomfortable. I couldn't even focus on Candy Crush. I rubbed the space between my eyebrows uneasily. I needed to rest. The hotel above the banquet hall belonged to the Xiao group. I booked a room directly and stumbled upstairs. As soon as the door closed, I kicked off my shoes and ripped off my jacket. I grabbed a bottle of water and downed the whole thing. The AC was set to the lowest temperature, but I was still hot. I threw myself onto the bed, covering my head with my arm. Was the wine today that strong? I endured it for a while, but the restlessness in my body didn't fade, it increased. The doorbell buzzed, but I had no strength to get up. Lucas, are you in there? It's Alex. I exhaled a breath of scorching air, slowly propped myself up, and used the wall for support to open the door. I really must be drunk. Alex looked like he had 3 heads. Are you okay? You don't look right.
I'm okay.
I turned around, intending to go back to bed, but my legs suddenly gave out. I couldn't stand and pitched toward the floor. Someone caught me, pulling me into a warm embrace. My forehead touched something cool. Lucas, are you okay? Are you sick? You're burning up. Burning up? Seemed like it. Even my brain felt like it was burning to ash. The second before I lost consciousness, my only thought was, Alex's skin is so cool. When Lucas's eyes closed, Alex panicked. He was fine a moment ago. What happened? He immediately scooped Lucas up by the knees and gently placed him on the bed. He wanted to call a doctor, but Lucas wouldn't let go of his arm. He held on like a child clutching a treasure. Alex tried to pull his hand away but couldn't. He could only coax him. Lucas, be good. You're sick. I need to call a doctor. Lucas could hear him, but he wasn't willing. He shook his head violently, trying to press Alex's arm against his body. He must have been incredibly hot. The buttons on his shirt were undone, exposing his chest directly to the skin of Alex's arm. The heat was startling. A string in Alex's mind vibrated. He tried to pull his hand out again. Failed. Every time he used force, the frown between Lucas's brows deepened. A flush spread from his chest up to his neck. Paired with his long hair spread across the bed, he looked like a rose. Breathtakingly beautiful. Alex couldn't look away. But Lucas's condition was clearly wrong. It wasn't so much a fever as it was he'd taken something unclean. Who was bold enough and tired of living to target Lucas? Alex's face darkened. But there was no time to think about that now. He had to solve the immediate problem. Using his other hand, he struggled to reach his phone at the foot of the bed and called his private doctor, ordering him to arrive within 15 minutes. Should just hold on. The doctor will be here soon. To relieve Lucas's restlessness, Alex took off half his shirt and offered his other arm for Lucas to hold. Lucas liked it. He held on for dear life, muttering something. Alex leaned in to listen and found Lucas calling his name over and over. Alex, Alex, I'm so hot. Maybe sensing Alex's cool aura closer, Lucas gave up on the arm. Instead, he wrapped both hands around Alex's neck and pulled him all the way down. Chest to chest, scorching heat passed between them. Amidst the drum-like beating of his heart, Alex couldn't distinguish whether the heat was his own or Lucas's. Being held like this by the person he had coveted for so long, any normal man would have a reaction. But he couldn't. After being held for a long time, Alex propped himself up to see if Lucas had fallen asleep, only to meet a pair of beautiful eyes. Luca? Lucas didn't speak. Alex couldn't tell if he was lucid or unconscious. They just looked at each other for a long time. Long enough for a knock to sound at the door. Alex looked away, preparing to answer it, but his arm was grabbed. Don't go. Lucas stubbornly wouldn't let go. Alex tried to soothe him. The doctor is here. He's here to help you. Lucas just repeated, don't go. I don't want you to go. The string in Alex's mind was perilously close to snapping. It was stretched to the limit. A stranger's voice came from outside. Hello. Room service. Do you need dining service? Not the doctor. Why wasn't he here yet? Frowning, Alex leaned back, holding Lucas's hand. I'm not going. I'm right here. I'm staying with you. But Lucas's next move caused all of Alex's restraint to disintegrate in an instant. Lucas pulled him down and offered up his own scorching, soft lips. When I woke up, my head was still throbbing. I rubbed my temples, opened my eyes, and was greeted by a pale chest marked with red scratches. My mind went blank for a second. Then, images from last night flooded back, leaving me stunned. I actually forced myself on Alex. And not just once. My brain was buzzing. Sweaty. Entangled scenes inside the room and images of crowds outside flashed before my eyes like an old film reel. The sound of banging on the door felt like it was still ringing in my ears. This was insane. I stiffly looked up and saw Alex's perfect face. Inner turmoil crashed over me like a giant wave, refusing to settle. Although I had always wanted to sleep with him, it was just a fantasy. I never would have acted on it. He's engaged. Doesn't this make me the other man? Well, this is fucked. I tried to sit up but froze instantly. A hidden pain triggered by the movement made me hiss involuntarily. Alex, that beast. Even though I present myself as a carefree playboy who sleeps around, I don't actually have much romantic experience. Aside from Zach, whom I only dated for a week, I was practically a blank sheet of paper. Last night was my first time, and I gave it to Alex while acting like a maniac. And I wasn't even sober. I arched my back to reach for my clothes scattered on the floor, only to be pulled into a warm embrace. Morning, Lucas. I didn't know how to face him. Ultimately, I was the one who initiated it. I was the one begging him. I could only blame myself for losing control, not him. What's wrong? Why aren't you talking? I paused for a moment, removed his hand, and turned my back to him to get dressed. Alex, let's just pretend last night never happened. We're still friends. You don't want to be friends anymore, I can accept that too. My worst-case scenario plan was always to slowly cut ties after he got married anyway. I didn't want to keep twisting the knife in my own heart. Alex was silent for a long time. Lucas, friends don't sleep together. It was an accident. It's also a fact. I choked up and turned to look at him. He threw off the covers, got up, and started putting on his clothes piece by piece. You were drugged last night. Even though you seem fine now, just to be safe, I'm having the doctor come over to do a full checkup. As for the person who drugged you, I will make them pay the price. I will give you a satisfactory answer. You're tired. You used a lot of energy. Rest a bit more. Alex buttoned his wrinkled shirt and brushed past me. I grabbed his hand, keeping my head down. No need to investigate. I know who it was. Alex left. I lay there for another hour, thoughts chaotic. Especially since a certain part of me was throbbing with pain, making my mind even messier. I took a deep, depressed breath, grabbed a pillow, and buried my face in it, wishing I could just suffocate myself. A moment later, there was a knock on the door. When I opened it, a middle-aged man in a white coat stood there, followed by 2 assistants carrying a pile of medical equipment. I knew him. He was Alex's family doctor. Good morning, Mr. Lucas. Mr. Shao sent me to give you a checkup. I didn't say anything and went back to lie on the bed. When he drew my blood, the doctor's eyes kept dodging mine, probably out of awkwardness. After all, last night, he must have been listening to the live porn show from the hallway for God knows how long. Thinking of that made me want to die again. I have some dignity, you know. I just stared straight up at the ceiling, reciting Buddhist mantras in my head. Empty mind, empty self. After drawing blood and doing some simple checks, the doctor shooed the assistants away and spoke hesitantly.
Mr. Lucas.
Yeah. For the first time, there might be some tearing. Would you like? Is it convenient for me to examine it? Who said it was my first time? Mr. Shao did. I snapped out of embarrassment. No need. For the sake of your health, maybe let me. I said no, so no. I sat up to yell, but the pain down there made my eyebrow twitch. The doctor thought for a moment and took a tube of ointment from his medical bag. This reduces swelling and pain. Apply morning and night. If you can't reach, you can ask Mr. Shao. My murderous gaze made him shut his mouth just in time. He silently put the ointment down, bowed, and prepared to flee. As he reached the door, I spoke up, seemingly giving in. Wait, yes? You can go. Leave the cream. For the next few days, I stayed home, rotting. Mainly because I didn't want to see Alex. And I didn't know how to face Sloane. Alex called me many times, I didn't pick up a single one. Until Sloane called. Hello? Mother of God, you finally picked up. I thought you'd been kidnapped. Not quite. We found out about the drugging. It was my disgusting cousins. They originally wanted to target me to stop the marriage alliance with the Shao family. But you got hit by mistake. I frowned. Families like the Seuss and the Shaos always had internal struggles for money or power. But using such low-class methods at a gala really hit rock bottom. And targeting a girl, no less. Anyway, Lucas, thank you. If not for you, the consequences for me that night would have been unimaginable. I'm terrified just thinking about it. I gave a bitter laugh. Sloane, if you knew what I did, you wouldn't want to thank me. Because I slept with your man. Why? Just because you rolled around in the sheets with Alex all night? I fell silent. You don't care? Nope. I stayed silent. If I didn't realize something was off by now, I'd be an idiot. What is going on with you and Alex? How to put it? Sloane hesitated. It's complicated between Alex and me. Basically, we aren't going to get married. It's better if he tells you the specific reasons. By the way, my 2 cousins have been crippled by Alex. They probably won't be picking up women ever again. Just eunuchs with hair now. My aunt and uncle know they're in the wrong and don't dare offend the Shao family. So they can only swallow their teeth. Once I take over the Su family, I'll remove them from the corporation. Don't worry. Sloan Su won't let them off easy. My eyes widened slightly. Alex, he already retaliated for me. Actually, according to my plan, once he confirmed it was those animals from the Su family, I was going to take revenge myself. Whether it was a beating or calling the police depended on my mood. I didn't expect him to move so fast. Hello? Hello? Lucas? Are you listening? Exhaled. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. After hanging up, I had mixed feelings. Clearly, Alex and Sloan didn't have a normal engagement. He was hiding something from me. I always thought Alex's kindness toward me was limited to friendship. But after that night, does he feel that way about me too? If he didn't have feelings, would a normal person sleep with their friend? I thought for a while, then called him. Alex, come to my place tonight. I have questions. Regardless of what he was planning, I needed clarity. That evening, there was movement at the door. As soon as the doorbell rang, I opened it. Lucas, why are the lights off? Before he could finish, I slammed the door shut, grabbed his collar and pinned him against the door. Alex, don't you think you owe me an explanation? He paused. I confirmed who drugged you. I've made them pay. If you want to, I'm not asking about that. About that night. I'm sorry. I didn't control myself. Not that either. Alex choked for a moment. Then what do you mean? What is going on between you and Sloan? Silence filled the air. You could hear a pin drop. He sighed very lightly, pried my hand off his collar, and held it in his palm. I actually didn't want you to know this early. Sloan told you some of it, right? Yes, although we are engaged, we don't plan to marry. Rather than fiancé and fiancée, we are allies, because our common goal is to break the engagement. I looked up in surprise. Break the engagement? Yes. I don't like her and she doesn't like me. We both have people we love deeply. But as you know, this marriage was set by my grandfather. The Su family helped him in the past, and the union is a powerful alliance. The elders on both sides are very satisfied. So, breaking it off gracefully isn't easy. The ideal solution is for me to become the sole authority at Corp, and for Sloan to fully take over her family business. Then we can break the engagement ourselves without needing anyone's approval. It was pitch black, but every word Alex spoke was crystal clear. Even without lights, I could see his bright eyes. And the only reflection in those eyes was me. My voice was a bit hoarse. Why didn't you tell me earlier? If I had known, I wouldn't have locked my feelings away to make room for someone else. I walked around with a knife in my heart, smiling like I didn't care. And now you tell me it was all fake. Alex slowly pulled me into a hug, stroking my long hair. Lucas, if I had told you earlier, it would have just been an empty check. I know you would trust me and you would wait. But ultimately, I didn't know how long it would take. Even if in the end I had to fight with my family and burn bridges to break the engagement, I didn't want you waiting on empty hope, watching your expectations fade away. I wanted to present you with a clean Alex from the start. Alex with no obstacles, who could be with you wholeheartedly. Do you understand? His words pounded against my eardrums, vibrating in my heart. My eyes, traitorously, got wet. Buried in his chest, I raised my hand and punched him. Not satisfied, I used a bit more force and punched him again. Alex, are you brainless? If you didn't let me wait, I would have ended up with someone else. I really almost... No, I did get with someone else. Alex held me tighter. You mean Zach? I didn't deny it. He chuckled softly. You think I didn't know you looked down on him? I investigated him the moment he started stalking you. I knew what kind of trash he was. I never considered him a threat. A relationship that lasted a week, with one meal, no hand-holding and no kissing. You call that a relationship? So this guy has been monitoring me. What if I met someone actually excellent? What if I really moved on? What would you have done then? Alex didn't answer immediately. He slowly lowered his eyes. I couldn't have done anything. I would have just blessed you. If you really fell in love with someone else and found happiness, I would have nothing to say. Even though I dream of being with you, I want the person I love to be happy and safe for a lifetime. Even if it's not with me, Bullshit logic. I glared at him fiercely. You are a bastard. Alex lowered his head, resting his forehead against mine. Yes, I am a bastard who only loves you. Unable to tolerate it anymore, I grabbed his collar again and kissed him ferociously. 10 minutes later, Alex turned on the lights, because if he hadn't, things would have spiraled out of control. The sudden light blinded me for a second, and I squinted. Alex stared at the corner of my mouth, brushing it with his thumb. It's broken. I laughed grumpily. Yeah, a dog bit me. I walked past him, nestled into the sofa, hugged a pillow, and sat like a statue. Alex poured me a glass of water and sat beside me. I glanced at him and spoke, my voice muffled. So what are we now? He picked up a lock of my hair, playing with it earnestly. Babe, we've slept together. What do you think we are? I snatched my hair back with a cold face and crossed my arms. Oh, friends with benefits then. I'm used to being single. Don't want to date. Alex. Seeing the colorful expression on his face, I couldn't help but burst out laughing and kicked him. Alex toppled over to the other side of the sofa from the force. I walked over barefoot, straddled his lap, and pressed my hands against his chest. Alex, once you're mine, don't think about running. I'm not that easy to deal with. If you commit to me, I'll chain you down for life. Are you ready? The overhead light reflected in Alex's eyes, shining like the most brilliant diamonds. He propped himself up on his elbows, held my lower back, and whispered against my lips. I wouldn't have it any other way. Good news. We are officially dating. Bad news. It's an underground romance. In private, I have no scruples. I'm wild. I seduce him however I want. But publicly, Alex and Sloane are still engaged, so I voluntarily keep my distance. To thank me for taking the bullet for her, Sloane insisted on treating me to dinner to publicly express her gratitude. I couldn't talk her out of it, so I agreed. That night, she brought a man with her. They were arm in arm, looking very intimate. I had seen this man before. It was her driver, Liam. And this is? Sloane raised their joined hands generously. Let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Liam. A blush of embarrassment spread across the man's face, and he scratched his head, smiling. I was slightly surprised. I didn't expect Sloane to choose someone who looked so ordinary and honest. But it was nice. After we sat down, Sloane solemnly poured herself a glass of wine. Here, Lucas, I toast this glass to you. I truly thank you. From now on, you are my lifelong friend. If you need anything, I'll risk my life to help you. She finished her speech and downed the drink. I smiled helplessly. All right, I know. Slow down. Sloane downed 3 glasses in a row. I wanted to stop her, but Alex held me back. Let her be. It's the only way she'll feel better. Liam didn't try to stop her either, he just put food in her bowl after every glass she finished. Fine, I'll accept it. After all, my ass did suffer for the cause. A few glasses later, Sloane started getting tipsy. She leaned against Liam, vividly recounting Alex's revenge. You have no idea. When Alex went to confront my aunt's family, his face was terrifying. Like a grim reaper. I didn't dare speak to him. My 2 cousins have faces thicker than my acrylics. Even with solid evidence, they denied everything. Technically, calling the cops would send them to jail, but they wouldn't stay long. Too easy on them. Alex was vicious. He had them tied up and taken to the old district, found a blind spot with no cameras, bagged their heads and beat them, specifically aiming down there. The scene, TSK, crying for their daddies. I watched from afar and even I felt phantom pain. Those 2 are still in the hospital. My uncle knows the Shao family did it, but there's no proof. Without evidence, they don't dare go after the Shao family directly, so they just cry over their crippled sons. They deserved it. Who told them to use such dirty tricks to stop me from taking over the Su family? Shameless. Alex really went hard on the revenge. I warned Sloane, you need to be careful too. This kind of thing won't happen just once. She nodded. Don't worry. I learned my lesson. After chatting a bit more, Sloane shifted the topic to Alex. She started heartbrokenly complaining about him. Do you know how bad his attitude is toward me? Not long ago, you accepted some redhead, right? This guy panicked. He bombarded me every day, asking why I hadn't taken power yet, why the engagement wasn't broken yet, asking if we should just show our hand to the families. He gave me such a hard time. If I hadn't stopped him, he would have flipped the table and fought his family. He might not have had a dime to his name right now. Oh, is that so? I raised an eyebrow and looked at Alex, who was pretending to be calm. Didn't someone confidently say I wouldn't be interested in Zach? Turns out someone was panicking behind the scenes. Oh right, and another thing. After I got back to the States, he yelled at me to stay away from you. He guards against men and women. So petty. I just love hanging out with you. So what? Let him die of anger. Sloane was clearly drunk. Her face was flushed, and she was swaying. If Liam hadn't been holding her up, she would have face planted under the table. Okay, that's enough for today. I finished the last half glass of my wine and stood up. Liam nodded and half supported, half carried Sloane, who was still mumbling "Don't go. I can drink 10 more bottles," out to the car. After confirming they were safe, Alex and I went home. Once we got home, the moment Alex took off his suit jacket, I pushed him onto the sofa, sat familiarly on his lap, and lifted his chin. Wasn't someone acting all cool? Saying you knew how I felt and would bless me if I was with someone else? Turns out you were ready to fight your whole family behind my back. Huh? Alex looked at me with half-closed eyes, lips pressed together, silent. This look really made me want to bully him. I softened my body and pressed against him. Alex, last time I drank, you didn't let me have a good time all night. What about this time? I drank tonight too. What do you plan to do? My lips were millimeters from his, teasing. Remember what I said before. If you didn't have an engagement, I'd drag you to bed and show you what I'm capable of. Wanna try tonight? Alex stared at me intently, a smile playing on his lips. He gently spanked me. Doesn't hurt anymore? I pushed his hand away and said nonchalantly, doesn't hurt a bit. You're just average. It only hurt for 3 days. Yeah. Alex leaned close to my ear, nuzzling it with the tip of his nose. Is that so? But last time you were crying and begging for mercy. Even the hallway could hear you. Dog, bringing up the one thing I didn't want mentioned. I have to get my dignity back. I stood up indignantly, grabbed his collar, dragged him into the bedroom, and shoved him onto the bed. Last time was an accident. Today I'll show you my skills. Outside the window, the moonlight was perfect. 2 hearts were gradually melting into one. Sweaty palms interlaced. I thought happily that I couldn't find a moment more perfect than this. Or rather, every moment with him was better than the last. And I believe in him. Eventually, we will gain everyone's approval and stand together openly at the top. Looking down, there are blessings. Looking up, there is the rest of our lives.